for Handson2, there's two exercises that you're going to do. Actually, more than two. There's two files you're going to create. The first one is going to be called album.py, and you're going to complete Try It Yourself 8.7 and 8.8. So you're going to start by creating a function called make album, and it's building a dictionary. So you'll be returning a dictionary. And the dictionary to start with is going to have two parameters, artist and album title. And it's going to return the dictionary with those two pieces of information. And you're going to basically call the function 3 times, sending it different information each time to create 3 dictionaries. And then you're going to print out the dictionaries, okay, all 3 of them. Then they want you, this is still part of 8.7, to add a third parameter, which is the number of songs. You could also refer to it as tracks. And the directions tell you to use none as the default value, but I don't want you to use none because it's the number of songs or tracks. I want you to use 0 because what you're going to be passing is numeric and it's not going to be a text string. Okay, so use a 0 for a default value there. And then modify your existing function calls. Modify one of them to pass the number of songs and make a new function call that does include the number of songs. Okay, so you can modify the old ones, but also add a new one. So you should have 4 function calls. It will be creating 4 dictionaries, and at least one of them has to have the number of songs, and make sure you print each one out. Then you're going to take that code and you're going to write a while loop that allows the users to enter an album's artist and title. And then once you have that information, you're going to call make album with the information, and you're going to print the dictionary that is created. So you're going to basically allow the users to stay in this loop until they choose to quit. So you're going to need a sentinel. And in addition to passing the artist and the title, if you want to pass the number of tracks, that is okay too. Otherwise, it's just going to use 0 for all of them. Okay, so that is part 1. The second part of this involves creating a messages file, which you will be using again in, I believe it's Handson4. So there's 3 try it yourselves that you're going to have to complete. The first one is make a list containing a series of short text messages. Pass the list to a function called show messages, and it's just going to print them out. Okay, then in the same file, you don't need to create a new file for this. Okay, so put it in the same one, the messages file. Write a function called send messages. So that one file is going to have a show messages function and a send messages function. So this one is going to print each text message, and it's going to move the message from the text message list into a sent message list. Okay, and then it's going to print it. After you're done, you want to print both lists to make sure that your sent message list has all the messages in it, and your messages to send list is empty. So this processing is very similar to the subscribed user example, and also the unprinted design example. It's almost identical to this one. Okay, so you can see up here that we've got print models and show completed models. So you're going to have a show and a send message function. Okay, and so yours is going to be very similar to that. The third part of this, so you're going to start with your messages file with the two functions that are in there. And you're going to send or send messages a copy of your list of messages. Okay, and then after you send it the copy, then you're going to print your original list and the new list. And what you should see is the original list is still going to have everything in it if you copied the list properly. So that is the trick in this particular exercise. It is to copy it correctly. Okay, remember, if you do not copy it right, you're going to have a problem. So your messages can kind of be whatever you wanted. I did quotes. So I've got this list of quotes. And I've got whatever. There are actual quotes in my list, okay? And then I've got copied quotes. So if you just set it equal to quotes, there is a problem because they are accessing the same memory address. So they are basically, you're creating like a reference. So whatever you do to copy quotes happens to quotes. So if you want a separate copy, you need to do the bracket colon bracket. That is going to create the separate copy where you can make changes to copied quotes without affecting quotes. Okay, so that is the trick for the third part of this exercise. If you have any questions at all, let me know.